Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Living the Midlife Dream. Today, we're going to talk about staying motivated when you're not seeing results when it comes to losing weight, getting stronger, anything related to health and fitness. I know every single one of us has felt this at some time. You know, you're doing the workouts, you're tracking your food, you're being consistent, and yet no change, or not the change at least that you wanted to see. I hear this a lot from clients when they first come to me. They always say something like, Danielle, I know what to do and I'm doing it, but it's not working. And you know what? I actually experienced this too when I was in the height of perimenopause, like ages 47 to 49. I just remember saying to myself one day, you know what, Danielle, forget it. I guess this is just what happens when you're in the height of perimenopause. You're about to turn 50, and you just have to accept that this is your body now. This is how it is. So if you've ever stood in front of the mirror and thought to yourself, what's the point? This episode is for you. I know the title here is How to Stay Motivated When You Aren't Seeing Results, but I'm going to be really honest with you. Relying on motivation alone is honestly just setting yourself up for failure. I know, it's true though. What you need to do is have a plan and you need some structure. So systems and habits need to be locked into place so that they take precedence over feelings, because motivation is really a feeling. And rarely does someone wake up and feel absolutely excited to go hit the gym. I mean, it does happen, it can happen, but it's rare unless maybe, you know, you got a new workout that you're going to try, or you have some new shoes you're wearing, a new outfit, maybe a new playlist. By the way, when in doubt, some of these things can actually help to motivate. They do work on me. I love a new playlist. I love a new little outfit. I actually love a new workout too. I actually probably am not the best person for this because I do love working out. But if you're looking for motivation to get to the gym or to go downstairs at home and hit the weights, maybe one of these things might help as well. But all in all, what I'm trying to say is hand in hand with the systems and the habits are discipline and commitment. So sometimes it might be boring and you're going to have to follow through anyway on what you said you would do. Be consistent, have a little discipline, stay committed to yourself and how you do want to feel. You want to feel amazing in your skin. You want to feel healthy and strong. That's what we're going after here. Sometimes being consistent is the hardest part. So I'm going to share with you how I stay consistent. Number one, I always have a plan for the week, like what days I'm actually working out and when. I'm very specific with the actual workout and the timing. It's not like I wake up on a Monday and I say, am I going to work out today? I don't know. I don't know. We'll see how the day goes. Absolutely not. That's setting yourself up for failure. So make sure you have a plan. You know what workouts you're doing this week and what days you're doing them and what time you're doing them, and stick to it. Number two, I meal plan and I prep for lunches, because I find that lunches for me, it's like the one meal that I always am like, I'm running around, I'm doing errands, I get caught up in like work stuff, I'm at the gym, whatever. And if I come home and I'm starving and there's not something prepped and ready to go, I have now set myself up for failure. So I don't leave it to chance. Otherwise, I'd be eating whatever I find in the pantry or fridge. I always have lunch prepped and ready to go. And number three, the last way I stay consistent is I actually love the feeling of being in the gym and pushing myself. So I stay consistent by chasing that feeling. It's a fun challenge. It feels amazing to walk out of the gym knowing I'm a little bit stronger than when I walked in. And it's just the best. It's the best feeling. So I'm very consistent with my commitment to chasing the feeling of being strong, happy, and healthy. Okay, moving on. Let's talk about your results or lack of them and what you're actually measuring to see these results, because you might be measuring the wrong thing, as in the number on the scale. That's like the main thing most people focus on is the number on the scale, and it can be influenced by so many things other than what you ate. It's insane, and I'll get into it, but do you have, after you've been working out, let's say for a month, you could measure, do you have increased energy? Do you have better sleep? Are you in better mood? Are you feeling stronger? Those are all wins. Those are all results of you honing in on your healthy habits and being disciplined, committed, and consistent with those healthy habits. So those are actually great results to look for. Sometimes the results show up in how you feel before they show up in the way your clothes fit. So just keep that tucked away in your mind. Remind yourself of this. I have to remind myself of this sometimes. I certainly did when I was just getting back into the swing of things. It was like, oh my God, I'm sleeping better. I feel better. I'm happier. I feel strong. Those are all amazing things to measure results by. I think we're just so conditioned to say to ourselves, let me just hit the gym for 3 weeks. I'll lose 10 pounds. And you know what? That is just not how it happens in midlife. Our bodies actually truly change in midlife. And what worked for us in our 30s and 40s no longer work anymore. We have to make that mind shift. If you want to be healthier and stronger, this is your life now. I know you hear about this quote unquote, oh, this is a lifestyle, it's not a diet. And I get that that can be annoying, but it's actually true. I don't feel like I'm on a diet. I eat whatever I want. I just plan for it. And that's all part of the macro tracking, but we're not going to get into all that today. But when you implement the habits of walking/moving, working out, eating healthier every day, day in, day out, these things compound each other. And before you know it, you are walking around as the healthiest, strongest version of you in your face. Oh my God, how amazing is this? It's the compound effect of doing the same thing day after day after day. You have to keep showing up and putting in the reps, the work with everything, no matter what it is you want in life. You got to show up every day and put the work in. And you have to have a why, a big why are you doing this? Because, results can waver sometimes. No matter what, they may go up and down, but your reason keeps you motivated and locked in to keep going. Your why can't just be like, oh, I want to weigh this much, because that number doesn't help you to do things, to stay strong throughout the years of your life as you age. That number doesn't lift weights. You lift the weights, right? I will admit that when I first got into all of this, it was definitely to look better. And what I got out of it, and my big why today, is that I am addicted to the feeling, as I said before, of being strong and capable. My bigger why is I don't want to have to rely on anyone ever for help now or when I'm in my 90s. I can't think of anything worse. I want to be able to be independent, live on my own, and be like that very cool old grandmother that is still with it and is in her 100s. And everybody says, oh my God, she's amazing. She's got great energy. Look at her go. That's my why. So get honest with yourself, dig deep, really think about this, find your why, and then open up the notes app on your phone and start a new note with your why in big, bold letters. And anytime you need some motivation, there it is, a note from you to you. So if you need a little help, I would suggest journaling, reflecting on some questions like, how do I want to feel in 6 months? Who am I becoming throughout this process? If your future self could come back to right now and thank you for something, what is it? So to just recap a few key points here, motivation comes and goes, but consistency is what matters the most, that compound effect. So I want you to, even if you can't do every single part of your workout that you said you were going to do, you're going to stick to healthy habits every single day. And you're just going to keep stacking and showing up and putting in the reps, putting in the work. And before you know it, you are well on your way. I want you to focus on what's working, not just what's missing. And, oh gosh, I wish I looked like this and I wish those jeans fit me. But I want you to focus on what you are grateful for, because you end up getting more of those same things to be grateful for in your life. It's true. It's called the law of attraction. Look it up. I've done a podcast episode on this before about manifesting, but it's very true. What you focus on is what you get more of. So start being grateful for the results that you do have and celebrate your small wins. I always have my clients share a non-scale victory. We call it an NSV with me each week when they do their check-in. And it's a way for them to focus on being their own cheerleader, finding a win other than the number on the scale, because we are just so much more than a number on the scale. Some examples of this would be like if you started walking more, if you started following macros, even though it was hard to learn, if you chose a healthier meal when you went out to eat other than the very unhealthy choice. Maybe you were out on a Saturday night and normally you would get an alcoholic drink, but this Saturday night you decide, you know what? I made a commitment to myself to be healthier and I'm going to pass. I don't need it. And you got a mocktail. That's a huge win. Maybe you woke up one day, you were totally not in the mood, but you talked yourself into it, you pushed through, and you went to the gym and you showed up for yourself. So just lock in to your why. Put it somewhere where you are going to see it every single day and remind yourself of your why. You guys got this. I think that, I've talked about this before. I want you to really just lock in on your why and let that be your guiding light. If you are on social media, I want you to stay laser focused. Don't start drifting away whenever you see a shiny object, like somebody coming on and saying that they have a 4-week transformation and they're going to change your body in 4 weeks and you're going to lose all this weight. That is a shiny object that does not work. I want you to stay laser focused, pare things down to the basics, set yourself up for a win. Start small, baby steps, pare down to the basics. I say the same thing over and over and over again because it's true. Just nobody ever wants to believe it. We all think that there has to be some big hard obstacle that we need to overcome, and it's just not that. If you are in a place where you're struggling to even begin to work out, I have a client right now that is just walking, and we are just starting with her walking a certain amount of steps every day, and that's where we're starting. So it doesn't have to be this big, giant mountain that you need to climb. I want you just to start small, start where you are. You totally got this, ladies. You've got this, you've got this, you've got this. And guess what? I will be your little cheerleader. I want you to imagine me just sitting on your shoulder and saying, come on, you got it, you got it, you got it. I love you. Thank you so much for listening. Please rate and review this show if it resonated with you at all. It helps for more midlife women to find this podcast. I know these episodes are short and sweet, but that's the way it is right now. Just like me, I'm short and sweet. Ha ha ha. That was a joke. Anyway, you guys, thank you so much for listening. Please get out there. If you have a why, if you need a little accountability, send it to me. Send me your why and I will hold you accountable. I will check in with you. I would love to hear from you. Thanks so much for listening, and I will see you guys. Well, I won't see you. I'll talk to you next week.